Hello. Hi, Shawnee. Let's see if Fugi works today, shall we? It was working before I started stream. There we go. Look at that. I am trying something a little bit different today because, well, on my side, you guys aren't going to notice anything, I don't think. But instead of recording the VOD from my um, streaming software, I'm just going to download the VOD from Twitch afterwards because last time it glitched and it didn't save my VOD properly, which makes me think that a lot of the issues we had last time were from the Streamlabs update. But I think that'll be easier on my computer, so we'll see how that goes. It does make me a little bit nervous because one, I'm adding an extra step to myself, like for myself to upload things. Yes, you absolutely should, Shawnee. Go make yourself some cocoa. And if any of my music gets caught as not the remixes that they are, basically, some of the VOD sections may be muted, and I'm not sure if that stays when you download the VOD from Twitch or not. I do, Shawnee. You deserve a tweet. So we'll see. But I do think that it's going to help my computer a little bit, even if it makes me nervous. But maybe there will be a lost VOD somewhere in the middle of things. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. We're going to finish Moose today. That's the plan. And then I cut other paper for our next thing. Well, the next thing that I need to do that I think I can do on stream. I'm also going to drop 30 things right now because that's how it is. Hi, Stars. Did I say that already? I said it in my head, which kind of counts. But how's everybody doing? How goes? I'm feeling a little scattered this morning. I mean, I'm usually feeling a little scattered in the mornings, but I don't know. I added something else to my plate this week, and it was perhaps not the wisest decision I've ever made. But, you know, we stay silly. Yeah, Stars is a streamer too. You should go hang out with Stars sometimes. I hang out with Stars sometimes. Okay, so since we aren't actually using these big pieces of paper right now, I'm going to move them to the side. Do I have anything else important to say? Oh, I do actually. There are now on my shop bookmarks and treat calendars listed. So we've talked about the treat calendar on stream before, but it's actually an idea that Stars helped with, even though she doesn't a member helping with. The treat calendars are currently up for pre-order, just so that I know how many I need to make to start out with. Those will ship November 7th, and then they'll just be available regularly. But it's a week of stickers that you can get to treat yourself. Well, it's 7 packages. You can open them all at once if you want to. I can't control what you do, you know? But you could also use it as a little kind of advent calendar situation where you give yourself a little treat every day. So those are up. I also did list the bookmarks. I got those priced out. So those are all set to go. I haven't announced them on social media yet. I made a Patreon post when I got them up at first and said I'd give them a couple days to like a couple days head start. I'm not gonna word very well today, I think. I also forgot to put on lotion before I came out here today, and it's cold. It's below freezing. I don't know what this is in Celsius, but negative something for sure. Probably -3, that's my guess. 24 degrees Fahrenheit. I would guess that means about -3, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's cold. And I decided that I wanted to wear a cute outfit and be cold instead. If you follow me on Tumblr, you've seen the cute outfit. Which again, maybe not a wise decision, but it is the decision that I am making. You know how it is, I'm sure. Um, do I have anything else to say? I don't know that I do. There is somebody doing like a lot of loud yard work outside, and I don't think that that's picking up on the mic, but I can hear it and it's going to drive me fucking nuts. I had a day where there were just too many sounds and I turned into the Joker yesterday. And it's looking like maybe today is also going to be like that. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. I did have a moment yesterday because so I bought a bunch of corsets with birthday money basically, and I had to follow up for like 3 months to finally get them shipped, which I've bought from this company before and I haven't had that much issue. But I get that I'm like a different size than the last time I ordered from them, so they were all custom made for me. But they have a special running basically constantly where you buy one and then you get however many free. So basically, I paid for one corset and got 5 for free, which is a great deal, especially because these are um, some of the only corsets I've gotten that my body doesn't break. I have a very, very intense small waist to big hip ratio. Um, and if there's any like plastic boning or traditional boning, like imitation whalebone or just straight steel, I bend those out of shape because of how dramatic that ratio is on me. So um, the boning on these actually bends the correct way and doesn't break on me, so that's very important. Um, but I had a little bit of a moment because some of them didn't fit the way that I wanted yesterday. So I needed to dress cute to remind myself that yes, I am actually cute, even if people expect my body to be a little bit different than it actually is. I think my first step on this painting, I want to darken up some of this spot around the edges of the trees. I left that on purpose while we were working on it so that I could go back in and darken that up. Just because it looks blurry in a way that I don't like. So we're gonna fix that. I don't think it's gonna take a lot of work. There's like a couple of spots in here that have like a blue background, and I would like to make that a little bit different. Because I need it to look like mud. But anyway, how's everybody else doing? I don't think this will take like a lot of work. Just darken up some of these edges. A snom! A pan snom! You get to hang out with me, Shawnee. I mean, you still get to hang out with me even if you didn't get the pan snom, but that's one of my labels. Getting there. I don't know that I really have anything else exciting to say. I've been working on the other thing that I added to my plate that I mentioned. I've been working on a little draw this in your style that Cadoodles set up to go with the Kickstarter because we've kind of stalled a little bit. We've been at the same amount earned for a while, and it's looking like maybe we aren't actually gonna make the goal, which would be kind of sad. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Shawnee. Definitely like liminal space time. But I can show you what I have done so far on that. So I'm doing a draw this in your style. Cadoodles is going to offer hers as a print, and I said that I would do one and offer it as a print as well. Hey, speaking of Cadoodles, I was just talking about you, Miss Thang. But this is mine so far. It's not done yet, but this one will also be offered as a print with the Kickstarter, thanks to Cadoodles doing extra work for us. This is Cadoodle's version. I have it here just as reference. But this one is also going to be a print offered in all of the tiers. And there was also another tier added this morning. I saw that email where there is also a crochet version of Pip, which is the little pumpkin head cat here, which is really exciting. So if you have not already helped fund that, that would be great. If you can't fund it, I understand. We all going through it, but if you could share with people, that would be really appreciated. Because we've all worked really hard. I would like to actually, make it happen. But yeah, this is Cadoodles. Cadoodles is the one who is running the the whole kit and caboodle for the coloring book. Cadoodles is also a streamer. If one of my mods would shout her out, please. But yeah, stuff and things happening. Things are going. Thank you. I was like, I don't know. I don't do draw this in your styles very often because I always feel like weirdly beholden to the original. But with yours, I was like, our styles are like different enough that it makes sense for me to actually change things here. So I was excited to be able to do one in a way that didn't make me nervous. But I'm really pleased with how the shell turned out on the snail cat. I hopefully will be able to finish that up today or tomorrow. It's something that I added to my plate this week, so you know how it goes when you're like, I can do this, I have the time, and then you realize that there is no time ever to do anything and you don't know what you were thinking. Not really. It's just that I'm having trouble getting my brain started this week. A little bit. Excellent, Shawnee. Yeah, of course. It's a little green, isn't it? Yeah, you got a shrimp check. It's harder for me to shrimp check today because, well, it's harder for me to shrimp today. I can still shrimp check, but I'm wearing a corset, so. Support garments for the win. Yeah, mine is too. That's part of why. That's part of why I got the corsets. I also am hypermobile, which means that my ligaments and cartilage don't necessarily like to stay where they belong. So sometimes the bad posture is my fault, and sometimes the bad posture is not my fault. But it still hurts no matter whose fault it is, you know? The problem is capitalism. All problems go back to capitalism. Gosh, I was whining about that the other day because I say the other day, yesterday to somebody. I use this app, this camera app that's like way better than the onboard app on iPhones for taking art photos because the auto color correction on iPhone photo app is just god awful. But apparently they changed the app so that you do have to buy a thing to use the app now. You have to buy their special connector thing, but you didn't used to. So I have the app and I'm allowed to use the actual photo stuff of it. But I recommended it to somebody else and they couldn't because they've changed it. And it's just like, this isn't innovation, actually. This is just a racket. Like, ridiculous. I hate it. Because it's a really good app, so I'm hoping that, like, the next update doesn't kick me out or something. But that's fair. I try not to use Google as much as I can, just because, I mean, they aren't really any worse than Apple. But I feel like they're worse. I mean, really, everybody has all of my data all the time. But I don't know. But the app that I'm using that apparently nobody else can use if they download it now is Fjorden Camera. And it actually lets you set the focus and do like the ISO and the shutter speed and stuff, which is really nice. But apparently we aren't allowed to have nice things. Ah, thank you. Yeah, for sure, Shawnee. Yeah, right. It's just like everybody knows who I am, but also, can you not? I'm lucky in the fact that I have like a very standard boring name that a lot of people have, so it's not impossible to find me, but it is a little bit harder. But I don't know. Who's making me stretchy? You want to actually show me the redeems, buddy? There it is. It's not showing in my Twitch chat, but it's showing on my Streamlabs chat. All right. Hi, Graham. I thought that was probably you. I think I'm just going to leave that right there.
Oh my god, why can't you just take the freaking compliment?
All right. Doing a stretchy. I will also do a twisty just because I can. And it's good for my spine. Hydrate. Okay. And a compliment. I actually already told Grim about this in specific, but I will say it in general. I actually upheld a very old boundary today and didn't feel bad about it, even a little bit. So that's a lot of progress. Which, good for me. Let's go. It's like a boundary I set 12 years ago, and somebody just doesn't take that seriously. And so I have to keep reestablishing it whenever they decide that actually they don't need to follow a boundary. It's like, nope, bye. Yeah, I've been working on it a lot. And part of it is just how I was raised. And part of it is how I've guilted myself about how I was raised. But I'm getting better about it. And also just like telling people when something upsets me, which is like really scary. But I've been getting better about that. And both Grim and Cap get a lot of credit for that. Making me feel safe enough to do that. But it's wild how, like, if you decide to work on yourself as an adult, like 80% of your adult life is going to be unlearning all the things you learned as a kid. Yeah, it really is, especially if you've been taught that doing anything for yourself is unreasonable. Which it isn't. That isn't unreasonable, actually. But I have been working on it a lot. And like not guilt tripping myself, I think, is the biggest step, because like, I don't know, I'm to the point where, at least with certain people, if I'm establishing a boundary, I don't have panic attacks about it anymore, which is like huge progress. I mean, some people it's still like not an entirely safe place, but talking myself out of it is also a big problem, and I've stopped doing that as much. So yeah, slow steps, but we're getting there. I think one of the big things for me definitely was realizing what my triggers were for that. So the things that make me feel like I need to let people walk all over me, basically. And that takes a lot more like uncomfortable soul searching. Snom. Hi, Jess. You get assigned a bi Snom. We've also had a pan Snom today, so we're just, you know, multiing it up. Yeah, some people will not get it because they don't understand that you're actually establishing a boundary, even if it's something that they would want to do. And some people pretend like they don't get it because they don't want you to have a boundary. And figuring out which of those it is so that you can react accordingly is like a whole task in and of itself. Yeah, I put those in for Pride Month, and then I just kept them because we like them. Yeah, another trick for having difficulty establishing boundaries is to get yourself a Grim. I think I've made this a little bit too thin over here. Let's expand that out a little. Yeah. That's also helpful. This is another, like, yes, Grim does this, but other people do this for me too. It's also helpful to have people like in your corner who you tell what you're trying to do to, like people that you trust, and they go, "What the fuck? Why have you been putting up with that?" kind of a thing. Yeah, for sure, Cadoodles, for sure. I definitely, when my mom passed away, dropped a lot of people because I realized that they weren't actually around to help me. Um, they were just there because I helped them, which is a hard lesson to learn, especially when you're already going through it, you know. But it is one that will, like, even though it's hard to deal with in the moment, it does make your life a lot richer going forward. Because then you know the people who stick around and who you chose to stick around are actually with you, you know. So even though it sucks in the moment, it really does make your life better in the long run. But yeah, it's still not something that's pleasant to deal with. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think for a lot of us, and I'm sure you're like this, Cadoodles, just watching how you've worked on the coloring book project, where we tend to take on too much because we feel like we need to be helpful. Um, I know for myself, a lot of times I will pile on too much stuff to help other people because I feel like if I'm not useful, I'm not worth something. And unlearning that is a whole nother kettle of fish that is also very difficult. But helping establish boundaries definitely helps with that a little bit because you realize that there are still people who care about you and want you to be around, even if you aren't actively helping them with stuff. Like, they think that you're worth it without you having to bend over backwards and kill yourself for them, you know? And again, these are all like hard life lessons. So if I can help people by saying something I've already figured out, that would be great. So take what's helpful to you and leave the rest, you know? But it definitely is like a lot of work to figure all that out. I may want to use a little bit of white gouache on this. Just because I would like some higher highlights on some of the metal here. This is just like a guardrail, basically. And I was going to add some greenery in the dirt, but I don't know that I'm going to. I actually think maybe I just like it a little gray in the foreground. It'll make the moose stand out a little more, I think. I do think I want to deepen up the shadow over here a little bit, though. But yeah, there's something, oh, what book is that? There is somebody that I follow on Instagram who wrote a book called Drama Free, which is about establishing boundaries in unhealthy family relationships. That was really helpful to me, and I think that even if it wasn't specifically your family, you would find a lot of stuff with that. She just released a new book, too. It's like Nedra something. Nedra Tawwab. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. Apologies if I'm not. But here, I will send you the pinned post on Instagram, Cadoodles, and you can look at her to see if it's of interest to you. But it definitely put a lot of other things in perspective for me. Because it was like, oh, these things that I thought were just how everybody gets treated definitely are not how everybody gets treated, kind of a thing. Yeah, I have problems with that too, Cadoodles. Like, I definitely have panic attacks and freak out when I have to confront people about stuff. Like, even if I'm just, like, I don't know, confronting somebody in a Twitch chat or something silly like that, where it's really, like, relatively low stakes. I still get that like really bad adrenaline rush that keeps me from like being stable for 2 hours afterwards. I don't know. I also, oh, good, yeah. See, I'm doing this, I call it raw dogging it. I'm raw dogging all of this because I don't have a therapist. So this is just me figuring things out on my own, like a monkey hitting a keyboard, you know? I do need to work on that though, because so I'm on like state insurance, which is not good overall. But the last time I called to ask what kind of things were covered on my thing, they like straight up lied to me about the mental health coverage. So I actually can get some. So I need to work on that next year, I think. Hi, Aiden! Aiden, I've been reading. You remember like 4 or 5 years ago when I was like, I should learn about the IRA, and I bought that book that was really hard to read. I'm finally reading it again. This is my 4th try. I've gotten farther than I have before. It's just so dense. It's so dense. The chapter that I'm on, so you know how on like digital books specifically in the Kindle app, it'll give you like a time estimate for how long the chapter is in like the bottom corner based on your reading speed and other chapters. The chapter I'm on is 3 hours long. Like, split up your chapters, dude. So I've slowly been making my way through this chapter. But I'm finally up to the 1960s. all the rest of it was like the 1920s and 30s. And learning about what the IRA did during World War II, which not the best choices there, but yeah, it's interesting, but I also like I feel like I need a better knowledge of how the political system actually works. I feel like I should have started with a different book, probably, I guess is the way to put that. Um, but yeah, I'm trying again. Yeah, that's fair. But like they'll reference some apparently well-known instance as like an example, and I'm like, I don't know what any of those words mean together. It's funny. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for stopping by, Cadoodles. Good to see ya. But like at one point he was telling me about how the author was telling me about how many various seats were won in an election, and I was like, I don't know what any of that means. Like I vaguely know what it means, but I don't know enough to like get the full weight of what he was trying to tell me. I may end up using like a tiny bit of white ink over there. I'm really tempted to add it now, but I shouldn't do that. Yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to take away from this book, honestly, because of how densely it's written and how long it is, but by God, I'm trying. You won't, Aiden. I promise you. It's so dense. Here, I'm just going to take a screenshot of the page I'm on and send it to you. How about that? This one actually isn't as dense, but it is still like it's a lot. The author just like really loves sentences, like the longest sentence you've ever seen in your life, and he's like, let's just shove two of these together so that you can't actually parse anything that is being said. There, I'll just send you that. Good luck. Yeah, and it's not even just like saying a lot of information. It's saying a lot of information in a way that is like really difficult to read. I one of the things that I do when I'm reading especially history books, but any book, I highlight words that I have to look up in red. And this book has definitely made me look up more words than any other book that I've read this year. And maybe in the past 2 years, maybe in the past 3 years. Like, it's a lot. It's like there is a much simpler word that would work for this. Why are you acting like this? Um, yeah, yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, exactly. It's like you're reading the book, but nothing is going in. It's really dense. The book is Armed Struggle: The History of the IRA by Richard English, I think is the author name. Um, it's just like it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, it is. I thought that too. But this is like the most, I don't know, well respected and thorough because I researched what book to read because I'm a nerd. Um, it is like the most respected and thorough um book about the IRA history that's like I don't know how to say this. That is the most measured in describing all angles of the various conflicts. Um, so like yes, it's really good, but I don't know if you can really count a history book as good if it's so hard to read. Because it's not, it's, this is going to sound like I'm being mean to myself, and I'm not. It's not like I'm stupid, right? So I have a minor in history. I read history books for funsies and also for profit and pleasure. Like, it's not like this is outside of my wheelhouse or something. But, like, holy cow. I almost just painted right over that moose. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. I don't know how to pay attention though. That sounds fake. I have can't pay attention disorder. But yeah, I'm trying so hard to read that book. So hard. There is something stuck on the paper right there. What are you doing? Okay. Yeah, exactly. So like I read um another history book that I read recently was about the Affair of the Poisons, which was an a witch hunt basically in Louis the 14th's France, so Golden Age France, um, where people were there was theoretically a plot by a variety of fortune tellers to murder the king. And so looking into that and all that kind of stuff, which was also a very long book and very dense. It's like, so the read estimate on it that most people take to go through is like 13 hours to get through that book. Um, this book, the estimate is 22 hours. Um, it's a lot. And The Affair of the Poisons book, well, interesting and very salacious, was also pretty dense. Um, I did learn a lot more about sex in France than I really needed to know, I think. But that's how history works. Because I know a lot more about Louis XIV's sex life than I ever needed to know. Which some of it was interesting, and a lot of it was really like, man, you could just do anything you wanted, huh? I really like how I'm getting some water blooms over here in the watercolor. I'm gonna try to get that going over here too. Ah, thank you. Thanks, Shawnee. Because I like watercolor texture, which is part of the reason I use the brand of watercolors that I do, is because they tend to granulate like that a lot. And I like it. So let's just mess with this a little bit. Oh, it did? Good. I'm never sure how long they take to get various places, because Caps arrived too this week. I don't remember what day. It's interesting to me that, like, I get it's both international mail, but sending both to the UK and to Canada and having it take like an equal amount of time is like really wild. You're gonna have another one coming soon. I'm about to pack those up. That might have been the same day then, actually. That's so weird. Actually, when I sent something to Al in New Zealand, his got there before the package that I sent the same time to Cap. It was so weird. Canada must like be really careful about their packages or something. I don't know. It's funky. Like that's a lot farther away. I need to let this dry a little bit, and then I need to up the shadows, I think. I say as I continue working on it. And then we work on our mousses, and then we are donesies. Yeah, that's my guess. Their forms are a lot more specific. Like, they really want to know exactly what you're putting in the package, which is kind of annoying, honestly, because, like, I'm sending a surprise. Let me send a surprise. Although I don't think that they've opened anything I sent, and I know that some of my packages to the UK have been opened and checked, so who knows? Okay. I also think I'm gonna want to deepen up the shadows on the dirt back here too. Yeah, that was so weird. That was the one that arrived opened too, wasn't it? Like unstuck. Okay, I'm considering if I want to add more white to the mountains in the background. Yeah, it really did seem like that. I think maybe a little bit of white gouache so it's not like intense. Yeah, so I wonder if maybe that's where it got open and they were like trying to figure out if it still had everything in it or something. Like to give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, I guess. Who knows? I love that, Shawnee. A moose boosh, if you will. Okay, that doesn't make a huge difference, but it makes me feel better, so. Okay, I need to let this dry for a little bit. Which means I'm just gonna sit here and be like, what am I doing? Nobody knows. I guess I could start on one of these things real quick while that dries. Let's do the easy one. Gordon, I'm gonna need to move you. Thank you for being here though, and blessing us with your presence, but I need more table space. You sit over there for a bit. Let's do this big boy first, shall we? Because this is the one that doesn't really fit on stream and is also going to be the easiest to do. So, these big pieces of paper are for finishing up the quilt block wall hanging. So I've told you guys about the quilt blocks. Aiden got pan too. So we've got 2 pans and a buy today. So we're just feeling all the multi-attraction. Hey, Fugi, you want to actually react when I'm speaking? Hello? No, it doesn't. Okay, I'm sleeping. It's fine. But I'm making all of these into a big wall hanging. And since I want it to be square and I have 12 blocks, I need to add 4 blocks to make it a square. I've had to do a lot of math for this, you guys, and it's like, it's a struggle. I'm not a math person. But in order to do that, I need to make more fabric to make more blocks. And I'm doing the blocks a little bit differently. I have a different pattern planned. But I also am going to do a border of a neutralish color because most of the voted colors for the color in focus are very bright colors. So I'm going to do like a muted gray to do a like border strip of. So that's this size. These other sizes are for mixing the brighter colors together Yeah, I think perhaps Discord is just like not noticing that I'm talking. That's what it looks like. Let me poke Discord for a second. It says that I'm connected. It's frozen again. Why are you like this? This is what happened last time too. So the issue is Discord. It's not Fugi. I'm sorry that I cursed at you, Fugi. It was not your fault. It was Discord being a butt. It's just completely frozen. Girl, get it together. Can I actually click anything? I'm gonna disconnect from the call if it'll let me. No, 100% frozen. Okay. I'm gonna restart Discord real quick. Which means my Fugi's gonna go dark for a second. But I'm gonna actually have to force quit Discord because it's not responding correctly. Come on, buddy. I don't know why Discord is giving me so many problems the past week. But it sure has been. I guess I can close this too. I don't need that open. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. I was hoping that not recording the VOD actively would, like, make this easier, but apparently not. Okay. Anyway, all of the other color and focuses that did get picked, I'm going to do a mix. So we've got 4 different sets of colors. So there's 12 colors, which means 3 colors per sheet. And then I'll cut these up the same way that I did the other patterns for the regular quilt blocks, and then make the center out of those ones so that all the colors are connected. I think Discord's also just not going to start now. Something is up with Discord on my box, because this is the second time we've had the same issue. Come on, buddy, you can do it. I believe in you. Oh, Streamlabs is also dropping frames again. So there's something going on. It might honestly be my laptop dying. Like, because we're using her in a way she wasn't meant to be used. Let's see if this will work. Blah, blah. Okay, that's reacting now. It says it's not connected, but it is connected. Okay, is that working? No. I would like it if things would work the way they're fucking supposed to for one stream. That would be great. It's frozen again. Okay. Irritating. Well, I don't know what I can do about that. So I guess I'm just hiding the Fugi again. We'll see if it reconnects at some point. It's so frustrating. Anyway, I guess really I could have just dealt with tech issues and then the painting would be dry, but let's get this sucker done anyway. So I'm doing a mix of grays with this and like blacks just to make a more neutral tone to go around the outside. There you are. This guy, let's use one of these guys too. So basically I'm just gonna wet this page. Yeah, and now we're dropping a bunch of frames. I don't know what the issue is, and I don't know how to fix it. Like, if I can't figure out what the issue is, then I can't figure out how to fix it, and that's really frustrating. Because, like, I thought the not recording was gonna help, but that apparently isn't. anything like sucking down a bunch of CPU that shouldn't be? Let's see. Like, I am using a lot of CPU, but not more than is normal for streaming. Oh, I think the Streamlabs update fucked it because it is currently using 124% of my CPU. That's great. So I may need to like force roll that back if I can. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe I'll need to look up some troubleshooting stuff later. I'm not going to be streaming on Tuesday because I have a modeling session. I mentioned that might be the case. The Tuesday after that, I also won't be streaming. So I'll have some time to work on that at least. But like, that's so annoying. Can you just like work the way you're supposed to? That would be lovely. And it looks like the actual Discord file isn't running, it's just the helper. Why are you doing that? That's so weird. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to fix that at the moment. I'm gonna need to research it. Which is great. That's so fun for me. Let's see here. Are you all the way frozen again? Yes. Let me just force quit you, I guess. Because you aren't gonna work anyway, so there's no point. So something about Discord and Streamlabs being open at the same time is throwing a hissy fit. I'm gonna try it one more time just because I have to. I need to see. So let me just unhide this real quick. And we'll see. Like, this shouldn't be such an issue. It really shouldn't, but all of this started when Streamlabs updated when I told it not to. So, like, it's all your fault, Streamlabs. It may be that I need to switch over to a different streaming platform, which would really suck. I don't want to have to move everything. I don't have time for that. I don't want you to reconnect right now. I want to do that myself so that maybe you'll actually work. Yeah, Discord is hella slow. Okay, which makes sense if Streamlabs is literally taking 150% CPU at the moment. Let me see. I think I did get a message like right when it stopped working, so I'm wondering if that's part of it. Maybe not. You're so frozen. Okay. Let's try one more time and we'll see. We'll see. Okay, you're saying I'm actually connected now, which is a good start. That is actually working. We'll see if it continues. Hi, Bean! Sorry I missed you. We're dealing with some tech issues and I'm being cranky about it. Good to see you. Have a good lurk. But Streamlabs is now also continuing to detect a bunch of dropped frames. Let me see if this is the same thing as last time where Twitch is saying I'm fine and yep. So we did have a blip right when I closed Discord and then reopened it. But everything past then is fine, according to Twitch. So this is definitely a Streamlabs issue, which is irritating. I mean, it wouldn't be less irritating if it was something else, I guess. It's just a different kind of irritating. It's frozen again. I'm just leaving it there. You guys can just watch me sleep. I don't want to deal with that anymore. We can all just stare at my double chin that Cap so lovingly rendered. That's just so irritating. Because it was working fine. And then all of a sudden, something breaks. We'll see. Maybe it'll, I don't know, unstick itself or something. I doubt it, but... It's just gonna randomly pop in and out repeatedly, I guess. Because, yeah, I can see, like, on the top of my screen when Discord is picking up my mic and when it isn't. And there it goes again. That's so weird. I wonder if it's actually just Streamlabs not reading it correctly. And it's not actually Discord's fault. Because it's still saying we're skipping frames, which is lovely. Love that for me. There's nothing to be done about it. I can't fix it. I just need to get over it. But I'm guessing that also means that I'm going to be lagging behind again like I was last time. So our latency is going to be worse. I will do a hide. Wait, thanks, Sean. Hydrating. I will. Thank you, Shawnee. Maybe we're back on now? I don't know. I think maybe I just need to leave it next time and like try to not worry about it. Which, like, telling a person with anxiety to not worry about it, that's gonna work, but you know what I mean. I may end up doing a second layer on this because I want it to be pretty dark. So we may be setting this aside to let it dry and then working on it more again later. Also, now is a great time to remind everybody to take their meds if you haven't. So good work on that one, Shawnee. am also going to need to pick so many paintbrush hairs off of this. So basically for this, I don't know that I said, I'm using a warm gray, a cool gray, and a black. Just to mix all of those together and make it a little more interesting, although it doesn't need to be super interesting, really. I cut my hairs recently, like last month, I think. Okay. I'm gonna leave it at that. We'll let that dry and maybe I'll add more to it because I would like it to be quite dark in comparison to the quilt box. I don't really have a good place to set that, so it's going on the floor. I don't have enough space. Yeah, I know you've detected skipped things. Leave me alone. Okay. You're dry enough. Okay, I need to deepen up the shadows on the ground here, I think, just a bit. Because the shadows are pretty... I've made the asphalt darker than it is in my reference photo, but the shadows are still pretty dark, and I think that gives a lot to giving dimension to the space. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm actually pretty pleased with how this is turning out, honestly. I was worried about doing it just because, like, the mooses are so small. But I'm actually letting myself do kind of a looser painting style. I don't know. I get really focused on trying to do something hyper realistic when that, like, isn't even my painting style. Because I have control issues. So I don't want to, like, just let things exist the way that they exist, if that makes sense. Which, yes, I'm aware that I'm also like that with myself. We're working on it. But actually letting myself do something that I think looks nice when other people do it is a big thing. It's definitely one of those situations where, like, your brain says when other people do it, that's allowed. But when you do it, that's not allowed and you're lazy and awful. And it's like, that's not even remotely true, but thanks, brain. Okay, I think that looks pretty good.
Hello, Ween is here.
Hello, Ween.
I am Ween.
Okay. Well, I've kind of covered up this guy's hump a little bit. Let's fix that a little. I also have a little bit of brown I need to put under Mama's chin here. Let's do that. because there's just like a little bit of the dirt patch back there that should be seen. I also think I want to deepen up the shadows along here. So we'll do that a little bit. I'm gonna actually use black for once. Because I just want like a clearer shadow here. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I also think like right along the edges here I haven't got enough green, like on the edge of the what's that called? The safety rail? That's not what the word I'm trying to think of is, but that's close enough. We've just got like some white space in here that I'd like to fill in a little bit more. Actually, maybe I want to do a little bit of the greenery like right here. Just a little bit low. Okay, that feels a little better to me. Actually, I wonder if maybe Discord changed one of my settings for my how it catches my voice. Maybe that's part of the issue. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. Although I haven't been having issues in other Discord calls, so at least not to my knowledge. Okay, it is time for Moose. I do want to clean this green off of my palette so I have some space to mix some browns and oranges here. Let me do that real quick. Actually, this would probably be a good break spot. So let me take a quick break, which means I'm going to run some ads. You don't need to watch the ads. In fact, I would prefer that you didn't. I would prefer that you got up and took a break with me. Maybe go get a little treat or go and look at something that's farther away from your face than your computer, or go to the bathroom, or, you know, whatever you need to do. I don't know if you're doing laundry and you've forgotten about it, now would be a great spot to go grab your laundry or move it to the dryer or whatever. I'll run 3 minutes of ads and then I will be back and we will continue to hang out and finish up this painting. Man, those ads sure took their sweet time to start, didn't they? Hi, I'm back. Hey, you wanna like switch scenes when I tell you to? Thank you. Goodness gracious. Okay, I'm back. We'll see if everything loads in the way it's supposed to. We've continued to drop frames, which is really great. I love that for me. I'm back. You should be back too. Welcome back. If you went and did a thing, that's great. I'm proud of you. I went to the bathroom and did stretches, and I also got more caffeine because I decided this is my little treat for today. That's something that I've actually added to my habit tracker, is consciously getting myself something that I consider a little treat. Oh my gosh, you guys. I can't believe nobody else has mentioned this yet. I only just noticed. I'm gonna wait and see if anybody else notices what I have just noticed about this painting that I did wrong. Oh, good. I'm glad you threw a hydrated rainbow. That's the correct answer. I can't believe I've been working on this for so long and nobody else noticed, including myself. Like, how did I get so focused that I missed that? Yeah, we sure did give this moose an extra leg. That's so funny. I believe the correct leg is this one right here. And for some reason, I added another leg right there. No, you should have told me. Now we have to do some surgery. That's so funny. I was using warm gray for this. Okay. But let's see if I can lift this up. It's been sitting there a while, so it might not be so easy. I'll see. But I want to lift up some of this orange before I lay down the gray. Hello! Astra Kitty! Good to see you! Nope, that was a artist error right there. I got so focused that I just did not notice that I gave it an extra leg. I mean, I do think that women should be allowed to have 5 legs if they want them. Just to say, you know. I believe in women's rights, and women's rights include the ability to have 5 legs if you want them, you know? Let's do this then. I can't believe I did that. That's so silly. I'm glad that I noticed now and not after I'd fully rendered all 5 of the legs. Maybe that... No, this is the right leg. I'm just second guessing myself because I made 5 legs on a moose. Yeah, exactly, Astra. And thank you so much for the 14 months. That's so sweet of you. You're such a nice and supportive person, and I'm so glad you're in my life. Thank you. I actually used the heating pad you got me yesterday because it was so cold here. Okay. Once I get the shadow there, I think that will not look quite so bad, but that can be our secret Twitch. I say that as if I'm not also going to put it in the Patreon post. That explains why I had so much trouble like figuring out why the shadow wasn't working. Like, I can't believe I did that. That may be getting fixed digitally a little bit too. Yeah, we support women's rights and women's wrongs here, but having 5 legs is not wrong unless you decide it is for yourself, you know? The oranges. I unfortunately picked a underpainting color that is pretty intense, so it is showing through. I may end up needing to mellow it out with a little bit more blue. But I'll let that dry and see what we think. You're such a sweetheart. You're an absolute delight. All the time. Okay, well, we're letting Mama dry from her surgery. Let's work on the babies. Yeah, it's great. It's so warm and cozy. I don't know if you saw, but when I got it, I did post photos of me making a warm, comfy face while I was wearing it and posted it on various socials. Which, man, can we talk about Twitter for a second? Like, bad calls all around this week on the Twitter front, eh? Okay. But I'm definitely not going to be using Twitter anymore. I'm working on pulling all of my tweets with media down. There's a program that was suggested in a couple Reddit threads that I'm going to use. I haven't finished yet, but if I finish using it and I do think that it's really good, I will let everybody know that I think it's good so that you can also do such thing if you would like. But it also, like, you can also just like delete all tweets or whatever, but I'm going to keep my Twitter up just so that I keep my username and can direct people to other social media platforms where I am. But it's called Circle Bloom, if anybody wanted to know. Yeah, so Musk specifically, and I'm not saying that Twitter decided this because we all know it was that stupid little man baby, has decided that the way blocking works is bad because he can't see if we're talking about him. So blocking won't actually keep people from seeing your tweets anymore. It will just keep them from interacting with them. And actually, the boundary I set earlier today is one of the reasons why I don't trust that. There are people that I don't want seeing what I do. And if I block somebody, it means that I don't want to interact with them, you know? Which seems like a pretty basic situation, but Musk really, really wants to know what everybody's saying about him. Yeah, and then there was also a thing in the updated TOS that some people, I saw someone say that they had dialed it back, but automatically opted every single piece of media that you upload to Twitter into being included in AI scraping. Yeah, I hope so, Bean. Honestly, I kind of hope that we can just, like, kill it so that somebody else who, like, actually gives a shit about the social media platform can have it, instead of just, you know, somebody who is continually throwing a tantrum. I don't think you guys can really see the details on that, can you? At least I can't on my screen. It's like you can tell that I did something, but I don't think that it makes it clearer. I promise it looks fine in person. But yeah, so I'm in the process of deleting all of my media from Twitter. So yeah, he's not good at making decisions. I think that we can all agree on that. He just is really not good at making healthy decisions. For himself or anybody else. So, and I'm kind of over it. So I won't be there anymore. Like, I was still getting pretty good engagement from a few people on Twitter, so I stayed for a while, but like it's at the point where it's like, okay, this is clearly like what you've decided new normal should be, and I'm not interested, thank you. Hi, Potato! Me looking so closely to figure out which legs are in front and which are in back. I do think that I covered that up all right. I do think that I'm going to need to mess with it a little bit digitally too. But I'll put another layer over that once it's dry, and I think it won't be too bad. I still can't believe I did that. That's so silly. Yeah, that's totally fair, Astra. Yes, I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Tumblr. I have 2 different accounts on Tumblr, actually. Um, I also have my username on a number of other platforms that I haven't been using, just because whenever there's a new platform, I get it. I'm also on Threads, which we can talk about a different man baby, but you know. You know. Blue Sky is pretty nice, honestly, I think, so far. My only major issue with Blue Sky before was that they didn't allow video, but they've changed that now. Because like so many other platforms require you to do video to get anything, that it was like an issue where I was making content. I hate saying that word. But I was making stuff for all of these other platforms, and then I couldn't post on Blue Sky. Because they didn't have that available yet. But they've changed that, so like my one issue with it has really been fixed. So that's nice. That's fair, Potato. I've had my Twitter for like a long time. I've had it since I was in college. I think I joined in like maybe 2011? Maybe farther ago than that, actually. It's been a long time. But yeah, I don't know. I do think that social media in general is kind of circling the drain at this point. A little bit. I'm gonna need to go back through this with another dark, but... Okay, is that dry? Let's add another layer there and see if I can... I might actually add just a little bit of blue to this to try and level out the orange there. Basically just gonna do this and then pick it back up a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. I do think you can tell that something happened there, but I don't think I'm going to be able to fix that per se. But let's deepen up everybody's shadows. That'll fix it, I'm sure. Hey, Tens! Oh, yeah! You missed the part of the stream where I discovered that I'd given the moose 5 legs, if that makes you feel better. It wasn't all social media talk, it was also me being a little bit stupid. Which, like, at least my kind of stupid is funny and amusing versus what the man baby is doing over there, you know? Also, my level of stupid hasn't cost anybody $4 billion. So... Okay. I do think it's still clear that something happened there, but I think it's okay. I can clean it up a little bit for the digital, because the main purpose of this was prints and stuff, so... Yeah, that's totally fair. I held out for a bit, but, like, the most recent changes are ones that make me feel incredibly unsafe. So, I'm done. We're done. I do want to let that dry a little bit, so let's work on our meese babies a little bit here. I do think I probably want to do a wash over top. Yeah, perfect, Astra. I haven't, like, I guess I hadn't been posting as much to Blue Sky just because they didn't have the video like I was mentioning. But now that they do, I'll probably use that as a regular, I guess I should say. Excellent! We like to hear it, Tens. Yeah, that's always rough. Like, you know it's going to be better once it's done, but it's still one of those things where it's just like, bleh. Also totally valid, Shani. Like, I have a lot of that stuff on because, like, I do it for my job. Like, this is my job. So, I kind of have to have it where I can deal with it. But it's totally, like, the better choice to not do that. I do think I'm going to end up doing a wash over this to make them a little bit darker. Just because I did do like a light underpainting, even though it's about the bright color, I would like to deepen it up a little bit, I think. Yeah, that's so valid, Tens. I don't know. Anytime I leave the house, I'm like, I'm doing a thing that's good for me. And then like 3 seconds later, I'm like, I want to go home. So close. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay, I do think I'm making these look like creatures. That was one of the things I was worried about, is just like... Oh, I definitely made one of these legs in back when it's supposed to be in front. It's fine. We got this. Since they're so little, I was worried about it. Yeah. I feel like anybody who's actually good at their job just really gets punished anymore. Because, like, if you actually give a shit and you do your job well, you're just given more work and not more pay. So it's like, why even bother? But that also means that the people who don't put a lot in just end up giving the people who do put a lot in more work. Which, like, I do think that it's perfectly valid to only do as much work as you're paid to do. I think that's fair. I don't think it's fair that bosses then expect the people who actually give a shit to pick up the slack for everybody else. You know? They should just pay us more. And also make jobs suck less. Welcome to another episode of If Katie Was in Charge of the Universe. Oh yeah, that's always a big decision, Shani. Although I've been using the same profile picture for like ever. And I use the same one for literally everything, so. Okay. Oh, that's fair, Tens. Also, because whenever anything is slow, it's like time takes so much longer to go by. Okay. Mama, are you dry? Yes. Do you think I'll end up doing... Sorry, I'm just looking. Actually, we are going to move on to a different part of this task. Actually, never mind. I saw something I want to change. This guy's butt is like huge, just in case anybody was wondering. I gave this baby like the biggest booty in the world. It's fine. Okay. So the thing about the parent moose is that it's a lot less saturated than the babies because it's older, so the hair color is different. So I think what I want to do is tone down this umber a bit to start out. Let's add some Payne's Gray to that. Mellow it out a little bit. Because while I do a fair amount of oversaturation in my colors just because I like the way it looks, I do think that that is an important feature of this photograph, so. Yeah, also valid Tens. Totally fair. Like, having anything to do always makes it a lot easier for time to go by. I also hate the thing where, like, you have to pretend to be busy even if everybody knows there's nothing to do. That was really bad at the last in-person job I did. Where there was just like a slow season where there was nothing to do, but if you just like, I don't know, sat down and read a book, that was illegal and you'd get in trouble. But it's like there literally isn't anything for me to do. Yep. Like at a certain point, if you just want people to be there because you need people to be there, just let me read a book or something, dude. Like, it's fine. I really did not draw these ears the same way that they are in the photo. Yeah, this is where my bad sense of anatomy comes back to bite me in the butt. That's so valid, honestly. There was somebody, again, at the last in-person job I worked, who would listen to like audiobooks and stuff because they didn't mind headphones. Like the bosses didn't mind headphones, but they didn't like if you were like reading an actual book, which is really funny because we were a bookstore. And I really think that if you're at a bookstore and you see somebody reading a book, that's actually a bonus because you know that they know their shit, you know? It was so silly. Okay, I want to do a little bit, like another pass on the shadows on these guys, and then I'll probably go over it with some more orange red brownie kind of color. I know, right? Like if you're in a bookstore and you see one of the book attendants reading a book, you're like, oh, they know what they're doing. They know how to read. That's an important task for working in a bookstore. It was just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, exactly, Shawnee. And like we were a textbook store, so it's like a little bit different, but still, it's like the same situation where like you want to know that the person you're looking at can like read and actually help you. And I feel like that's maybe even more important in a college bookstore when you're hiring students. Because, like, we had actual books to read for classes and stuff. So it actually, I think, looks better for the bookstore if you let people do that. But, you know, I wasn't in charge, clearly. The world would be a different place if I was in charge. I can't promise it would be a better place, but it would definitely be different. Okay. I really gave this tiny moose just an absolute dump truck of an ass. It's so funny. Yeah, 100% tens. Yeah, that's fair, Aiden. I am a very trustworthy person, and I'm always surprised when people trust me as much as they do. Like, I get why, because I am legitimately a trustworthy person, but it always, I don't know, I always find it shocking when people trust me as quickly as they do. That's definitely a thing in streams that I hang out in too, where like I'll get modded a lot faster than people who have been there for longer, just because, I don't know, I have that vibe. Which again is fair, and I get that because I do work at being trustworthy, but it always, I don't know. It's one of those things where like, oh, people have perceived me? How I perceive myself actually matches how other people perceive me? Weird. Oh yeah, he has a little dump truck. Which, you know, he's allowed, I think. Yeah, I think these shadows are generally pretty good, and I just want to do another wash over top to get the color where I want it. which is a scary part, but we got it. We can do it. We're smart enough most days. I do think this moose is my favorite so far. Just I think I've got him the closest to actually looking like a moose. But that isn't the middle's one's fault. He was just in a weird pose when I took his photo. Okay, what am I doing? Stuffing things, that's what. The neighbors are being loud again. What a shock. The loud neighbors being loud. Who would have thunk it? You're still allowed to complain, Tens. Even if you've dealt with worse, you're still allowed to complain. Complaining is a human right. It's one of the things that keep us from going bonkers when we have to deal with bullshit. You know? Oh, they're having an argument. Okay. I need to do another pass on Mama here to get some of the deeper shadows down. My nose is also running all of a sudden. But I need to let that dry for a second before I do that, so let's look at our other thing, because this is dry now, so I can add, well, it's mostly dry now, so I can add a little bit more pigment to it. But I can also peel up all of these little paintbrush hairs that fell off, which did leave some fun pigmentation weirdness, so. Okay, I think that's the big ones. Oh, I got that way damper than I meant to. That's fine though. We're just gonna do some swipies here. Yeah, I'm gonna need to refill those colors in my palette because I just used a bunch of them. By a bunch, I mean all of them. I might actually do that now because having the paint that's still like fresh out of the tube will be a little bit darker in here, so let me find them. You and not you. Not you either. You? Yes. And I know you're in here somewhere. There you are. God, they're really falling outside. You know what? I was gonna try to suck all of that pigment back into the tube, but I can also just like do this. That's fine. This is a low stakes project here for how it needs to look because it's just gotta have some color on it. That's all. They're really arguing outside. Okay. Hi, Dwight. I wish that I could, legitimately. My laptop really cannot handle playing a game and streaming it. So, like, I did digital art for a while because I also do digital art. And I would stream that, and my laptop really just can't handle it. And so I ended up with a lot more tech issues. But once I get my desktop set up, which involves a lot of intermediate steps there, setting the room up where I can actually have a desk because I stream in the living room currently. Once I do that, I probably will do that, honestly. Because we could do that and I could let you guys make all the decisions. Which I think would be fun. I do really love stuff like that. So like Valhalla and like Coffee Talk and Red Fate Club and stuff like that. I really like those kind of, what are those called? The visual novel kind of games. But I also think it's really fun to do that as like a team play where everybody inputs to the decisions. I would love to do that. That would be so fun. Actually, why are they yelling at the kids? The kids shouldn't be home today. I don't know. It's not my problem. Yeah, I do enjoy playing games, but I haven't gotten a chance to do that as like a streamer just because of my tech limitations. But soon. We're in the process. I need to get the flooring done in the studio, but that's a thing that we can do in winter. A lot of the construction stuff that you have to do in Alaska, you can't do during winter because the outside is, you know, gross. But since it's flooring and it's inside, we can probably get it done. It's just a matter of me figuring out the price and finding somebody to do it, because I definitely I'm not interested in installing my own flooring. That makes me nervioso. So, but we're also going to be traveling for Christmas, which kind of puts some more limitations on stuff. Well, after Christmas, not like on Christmas, but So that's going to be a thing too. Once I get travel dates, I'll let y'all know too, so that you know when I'm not going to be streaming. Okay, this is definitely a better level of dark that I was looking for. It does look very blue on stream. It doesn't look as blue in person. Yeah, that's totally fair, Tens. We luckily have pretty good internet, especially considering we're in Alaska, and there's like 2 companies that you can get internet from. But it's also important for us to have a good amount of internet, so. And clearly there are still issues, like it's still technology, but that hasn't been a big issue. It's mostly been my laptop that's been the bottleneck. But again, understandable. She was not made to do this. She's doing her best. Which, like, same, bestie. Alright, I think that's good. Now I can do washes on the Moosin. The Meeson. Then I think we'll be good. I may take another quick break, though. And then come back and sit back down, just in case, you know, there's another leg situation that I haven't noticed because I've been staring at this the whole time. That's still so silly. Okay, I've not also kind of put the eye on this moose yet, which I think is part of the issue I'm having. I am at the 2-hour mark, you're right. That's a reasonable point to take a break, actually. So maybe I'll just do that. Yeah, that's rough. And I mean, there is always a little bit of lag. It helps if you turn the low latency setting on because it's off naturally in your streaming stuff. Oh, I didn't even notice those. You're right. I will do stretchy and hand stretches too. I got distracted and didn't notice. Okay, stretchy, sippy. Hand and wrist stretches. Because for some reason they have the low latency setting automatically off, which increases the lag between you and the viewer too. I mean, like, for some situations you want a little bit of extra lag, but for the most part you want to be able to, like, actually talk to the people that you're talking to, you know? So I usually have that turned on. Okay, I am gonna take a quick break. I think that it hasn't been enough time for me to run ads again. Let's see. Oh no, it has been. Okay. I have no concept of time. It's fine. All right, I'm gonna take another break and run ads again, and then we'll meet back here and actually finish this painting for realsies this time, I promise. Okay, I'm back. I think you're back. At least from the ads. Theoretically. Although Twitch has been weird about keeping people in ads longer than it says that they should be. So I don't know. Okay, I'm not seeing any extra legs anymore. That's a good sign. I do think I'm pretty happy with the background. It's just figuring out the meeson that we gotta finish up. Thank you, thank you. It is, moving around did make me realize how cold I am. It's very cold here. So it was 24 degrees Fahrenheit when I started stream. It is now 29 degrees Fahrenheit because the sun actually came up while we've been streaming. So that's progress. What brush do I want? Probably this one. Let me figure out what color I want to make these baby meeson. For people who don't know, I live in Alaska. We're doing Alaska art, but I always just assume that people know that, and then sometimes people are like, wait, you live in Alaska? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't think it was a secret. I need like a little bit of red in here too. Do I have a scratch paper around here somewhere? I do. Yeah, that slaps. All right, let's go. Okay, this is a scary part, washing over something that you've already done work on, because if you aren't careful, you reactivate all the layers underneath and just turn it into a muddy mess. So we're going to take a deep breath and we're just going to do it, and we're going to say fuck it, and if it ruins it, then it ruins it, and we can do it again and it's fine. That definitely brings it to a closer color to the reference image. I think that's a lot better. Because I did want to do the orange underneath, just because that is like a main color. I was going to say a primary color in the photo, but that's kind of confusing if I say primary in that context. So I do think I'm going to give Mama a wash of this color, and then we're going to tone it down with another wash over top. Am I actually going to do that? I think I'm not actually going to do a full wash. I think I'm just going to use this as like a mid-tone here to kind of extend some of the shadows a little bit. And then we'll do another wash over top. I think that's the right call, actually. That's so valid, Aiden. Sometimes we gotta zone out. Like, legitimately, it's good for your brain to do that, so. Because the main highlight on this moose is like right along its side in my reference image. I also need to do the eye for this one. That's the other thing I need to do. This will give us like just more of a mid-tone in here. Plop in where that eye should go to. Like here, and that knee is a little bit of a pop there. Kind of like that. Okay, that looks so much better already. Okay. We're on the right track. I do think that the babies are done. I think if I do too many more layers on them, they're gonna just end up looking kind of muddy and messier than they already do. Okay, travel safe, 10. See you soon. I say not necessarily that you'll be coming back, but I'll probably see you in lip stream later. Just throw that out there. Some of us are very consistent about where we hang out on the interwebs. I do have more photos to do for this too. I mean, more photos to do, more stamps of, not for this particular stamp piece. Because I'm planning on making like a little stamp series. Because I thought it was just kind of a cute idea to make, well, for one, Alaska stickers, but also like travel stickers. And then have these be thank yous, in like for my orders. So I have a set of thank you stickers that you can collect all of them basically. I do think that the deal with that is that I will be selling the Alaska stickers in person when I start doing actual things up here. So it'll be either like a festival or an online exclusive kind of situation. Because there are a few places up here that sell local stickers, and I'd like to go in and like ask if they would be interested in selling these, kind of a thing. And I think having like tourist friendly stickers is definitely a thing. Yeah, exactly, Aiden. So I have a few of those. I think I will also make some stamps that aren't specifically Alaska, but since I live here and like I've taken photos when I've traveled throughout Alaska, I have a lot of good reference photos that I can use to do that with. And I think it's a good, like, not to be all business minded, but I think it's a good thing that I can do that other people necessarily won't be able to do, kind of a thing. So. But yeah, I've found that, especially with people who... Discord is frozen again. There you go. I just needed to look at it hard enough. What was I saying? Repeat customers, I've found that I, because I don't have like a set thing where I can check off what thank you stickers I've sent, I don't know which I've sent before, and so there's a possibility that I will send a duplicate, which really is not that big a deal, but I'd like to have something set in a way that takes the extra pressure off of me, like mentally, because I tend to, I know this is a shock to everybody here, but I tend to put way more pressure on myself than anybody else ever would. So trying to figure out like a good way to be kinder to myself in that aspect in the future and also do something cool for my customers, I think is a good balance to figure out, and I think this will be good for it. I want to... I know! Never once. I want to add your eyeball in here, buddy. Right there. I also think you should have a nostril. Because you're actually big enough for me to put that little of a detail in. But yeah, trying to figure out... So I realized the other day, I made a post on Tumblr about it actually, that actually the person who is like least willing to give me any sort of accommodations for my mental situation and my disabilities in general is me. I'm the person that's meanest to myself, which like most people would be like, yeah, Katie, we even knew, but I kind of had to have a revelation about it. So I've been trying to like work with myself instead of against myself more often, which like again is like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, water is wet. But also once you realize that and start actually working toward it, you can do a bit better about it, you know? So yeah, exactly. I'm trying. I am getting better about it. I really am. I will also give a shout out to Cap for literally changing my brain chemistry all the time about this, which he is again the reason that I have had this revelation at all. Which has been happening a lot lately, actually. And you can track that entire journey on my Tumblr, because I keep making posts about realizing something. I'm like, I was talking to my boyfriend, and so... yeah. Thank you, Shadi. Oh, I should actually show you guys. I was going to put it on stream and then I forgot, but Kat made this for me and Lib, and I love it. And it's my lock screen now. It's so cute. I was waiting for him to post it on his social media so that I could reblog it, but I don't know if he did or not. Or repost it, or whatever the right word is. Let me check. I don't know if he did. I know he posted it in a variety of Discords. Oh yeah, go for it, Shawnee. That would be great. Thank you. I was so excited about it. It's so heckin' cute, and I love it. And Shawnee will snag the post because Shawnee is the bestest. And then you can all see in its full glory. To clean up these ears a little bit, I think. Okay. I know I said that I shouldn't add another layer to the baby moose, but I'm gonna add another layer to the baby moose. Just a little bit. See, just a little. Just a little. Thank you, Shawnee. I meant to add it to my layout this morning, but I just didn't think about it. I got distracted by something else, as you do. I do think that I want to clean up the edges of these guys a little bit with some more asphalt color. Right, me too. That's one of my favorite parts. Which is really funny. I mentioned in that post, actually, because one of my friends, Beaky, commented on it, that they really, well, she really liked that. Sorry, wrong pronouns. I know pronouns. I can remember. And I think it's really funny because whenever I wear foundation, I will mix the foundation color either on my hand or on my leg instead of using like a proper palette, because they sell proper palettes for makeup, like mixing makeup colors and stuff. And I'm just like, I'm using my hand. So I thought that that was a particularly nice touch. And Cap didn't know that when he chose that detail, which I think is even better. I also really like that he made my bib roll be titted. I think that's really funny. Because I do have me some tits. This is a fact. Like if I lean too far forward, hey buddy. Okay, I do think that I need to do another layer of dark on Mama Moose here. And I'm actually wearing the sweater that I'm wearing in that. Because this is a sweater that I wear a lot. Cap was like, what color do you want the cardigan that your bib roll is wearing? And I was like, I gave him like 3 options and he picked this one. I don't know. Cap is just such a good detail artist, honestly. So like when I gave him references for my PNG tuber here, I gave him a photo of me in this outfit. And I told him that he didn't need to do a 1-for-1 for the dress pattern. And he was like, who do you think I am? I'm doing that. And I was like, okay. He's just so good with the details, honestly. Oh, I should... Hang on. I'm doing something. Don't worry about it. Can I remember how to do it? a lot of times, okay, I did remember how to do it. I'm just putting a marker on the stream VOD so that I know when I was talking about Cap. Because I have a tendency, like, especially if somebody else is talking about him in kind terms, which I haven't heard anybody talk about him in not kind terms, but I'll take a clip or something just so that he sees that people are talking niceties about him. Kind of like what me and Shawnee do for each other. Very similar vibes. Okay. I think that's pretty good. I'm trying to decide if I want to clean up the asphalt lines around the baby mooses or if I want to leave it. I also think I need to do another I need to do a washover bomb too still. Yeah, I think that I do. Yeah, exactly, Shawnee. Like, we need to know that people still talk nice about us when we're not there. It's really important. It definitely is like a big thing. Because, like, one of the things that anxiety and just like mental illness in general does to us is it lies a lot and says that the only reason people are being nice to us is because they see us there and it's polite. So if we get proof that, you know, people are still nice to us when we're not there and quote unquote bullying them into being nice to us, it goes a long way to defeating the little evil demon that is in our brains, you know? So it is very important. And a thing about my family, specifically my mom's side of the family, is that they won't give you compliments to your face. It's really weird. They will talk about you when you leave the room, but they will talk loud enough for you to be able to hear them. And this isn't just a compliment thing. They also do this with insults, and it's not a healthy way to live. But so one of the things that I started doing to try and like combat that in my family is I will tell people what was said about them when they left the room, like especially if it's a nice thing, like because kind of like the way my grandma definitely used to do that. You wouldn't know that she liked you if you weren't like eavesdropping on her. And it gets like it's really bad for your brain, like honestly. So I try to do that for other people too in other situations that are different than just what my family does, you know? But it's definitely like a lot better for your brain to see that people actually talk niceties about you when you aren't there. So I try to make like an effort to do that for people. And even if I'm not like taking a clip, I will say, "Oh, I talked nice about you today," and we'll say what I said, kind of a thing. So, and to be fair, I do, especially with Cap. He knows, like he knows, but I'll still like go a little extra with it. Me being extra, nobody would expect it, I'm sure. But yeah. I don't know. Just a general reminder for people. Remember to tell people that you care about them. Just for no real reason. I think that's part of the reason why I have so many good friends as I have is because I really make an effort to tell people that I like things about them. Um, like I don't think anybody has to guess at whether or not I enjoy their company, you know, because I always make a really big point of saying it. Um, repeatedly and loudly, especially in like Twitch chats and stuff. Because I think that it really does, it can, even if it's not your stream, it can really change the culture of a whole stream chat. So, like, one of the things that I do, and I did this a lot in Jick's stream too, and Aiden can definitely attest to that, is I say hi to everybody who comes in and says hi. or I'll just say hi in chat when I come in, and then everybody says hi to me because I usually say hi to them. And like, I won't say hi if they just say hi to the streamer. So if you come in and say hi Katie to me, or equivalent in somebody else's stream, I wouldn't say hi because you're only talking to the streamer. But if you say hello in general, I will say hello to you. And eventually that just became the regular, where everybody was coming in and saying hello and saying hi to each other whenever anybody would come in. And it's just like a nice little thing because it's nice to feel recognized, right? We all like that, so why don't we try to do that for other people more often? It's like such an easy fix. Yeah, exactly. Like, ask follow-up questions. Say, like, if somebody mentions that they're nervous about something, ask how it went next time. Like, just treat people, like, it's very, like, a basic kindergarten rule, but treat people how you want to be treated. And it definitely changes how other people treat you, and it changes how you make a community, which I think is really important, especially in times when we end up feeling so freaking alone because of how little free time we have and just how many things we're doing at any given moment. It's definitely one of those things that just like it's a little bit of effort, but in the long run it makes such a nicer climate for you to be in and for everybody to be in. So like, just noticing what's up with people. So like, I don't know, I recognize how people talk enough that I can be like, hey, are you having a rough day, if something seems off, and it always makes people feel more cared for. It's the little stuff, it builds up into big stuff. Yeah, for sure. Well, because I thought you were really nice. Like, I've told you this before, but we can just use you as an example here. But one of the things that I do is if I like somebody and I think that they will add to the vibe of the place that I'm hanging out in, I will gift them a sub. Because it's like a little, hey, you should come back here. Because a lot of times, this is a little manipulative, but it's for good reasons. A lot of times people are more likely to come back to a stream if they've been gifted a sub because they feel obligated. So if I like somebody's energy in a stream, I will gift them a sub so that they will feel a little bit obligated to come back and maybe have like a higher chance of becoming part of the community, Huge thing. Like, it's really not like a lot of extra effort, but it does make a big difference in a space. You do not talk too much, Shawnee, ever. Yeah, we like you, and we would like to talk to you. And definitely, like, both as a viewer and a streamer, that's something that I also do as a viewer, is if there's a lot of quiet in a chat, I will like come up with random questions or something, because it's a lot easier for the time to pass into stream in general if you have somebody to bounce off of. So being that one person in chat who's constantly talking is actually super helpful. Yep. And I like you, Aiden. You're a good person, and you were a good fit for Jix community too. I think that you were definitely a good addition there, and I was right to try and trap you there for all eternity. And now we're besties, so there you go. Okay, I need to do a watch on Mama Moose, and then I think this is done. I think we get to sign it and say that it's done. I do have other stuff I could work on today, but I might end. I guess I've been live for a reasonable amount of time, so after I finish this, we'll probably chat for a little bit more and then end. I think that's a good call. But let me figure out what color I want to do over Mama Moose, because I want it to tone it down a little bit, which means I want to add some more blue to it. But I don't want it to be like super dark. Like, that's really dark. I think that's closer to what she is. Yeah, I've just been trying to ignore it, but I have 36 alerts from Streamlabs that I've been dropping frames. So I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, for sure. And like sometimes you feel like chatting and sometimes you don't. It's not like an obligation that you must chat or anything, you know. Is that better? Yeah, I think I like that better. Okay. We'll just combine these colors and make a mess. But like if you start being a person who's really chatty in streams, it does change the culture. So when other people come in, they realize that they can chat and just do whatever. Thanks, Shawnee. I appreciate it. And it's just like, it's not that big a deal overall. It's just, I don't like it when things don't go the way that I want them to. Which, yeah, I have control issues and I'm neurodivergent. So, hee hee. That's just a thing that's gonna happen. Of all the things I could possibly be dealing with, this isn't that bad. Like, it's fine. It's just one of those things where it's like I wish that I could magically flip a switch and make everything go the way that I want it to go, you know? But alas, life is not like that. That's true, Aiden, you did. Okay. That's close. I think that is more saturated. It's going to dry a little bit lighter, so I'm going to let it dry and see if I want to put another layer over. But overall, I think that's pretty like the photo here. Let me show you. I have the reference photo here, and it won't be exactly the same because I am showing it to you on a digital screen, and also we changed some things, but not bad. I think we did it. So we'll let that dry, and then I'll see if I want to do another layer of that over. And then we can sign it, and then we're set to go. We did it! Yay, Yor did it. God, I have been picking up so many verbal stims from Lib. It's embarrassing. Yes, it will. I do think that I covered it up well enough. I will clean it up a little bit in the digital scan before I start trying to do prints and stuff with it. Which I think I probably will add this to the print roster. There's a few things that I know that I want to do prints of, but I want to do like a small set to start out with. But I think this one will be a good addition for prints. But this one, the atom piece, like neighboring atoms, I think is a good one. The stellar sea lion I want to do for sure. And the iris that I made, I think I want to do as prints. All of those are very purple, so this can be a not purple. But we'll see what else I decide to do. That isn't this month. That's probably in January situation. I've just been thinking on it a fair amount because I would like to start selling my own prints. Because I can actually, you know, make a proper amount of profit off of them. Versus like the print-on-demand stuff that I have going at Imprint, which I've made 2 wholesales on Imprint in 4 years, so yeah, we did a thing. We did it. So I'm just gonna let that dry a little bit, but we can, you know, sit and shoot the shit for a bit, so to speak. Oh, did you guys want to see my draw this in your style again? I will show it to you. Cadoodles and Cadoodles is the one who did the draw this in your style original art, which is this one that I have as a reference on the side. And I'm working on mine, and both of those are going to be included as prints in the coloring book project, which is, the link is in the pinned post. So if you haven't checked that out, I would love for you to check that out because we're a little bit stalled on the funding. We have until the end of this month to get it 100% funded or it doesn't happen. So if you can't, fund it, which I totally understand, we're going through it. But if you could share with people who you think would be interested, that would be super helpful. Because as the group of artists, we only have so much range, right? So the more people who share, the more likely we are to get there. But yeah, so we're working on this. And I've been working on this for like 3 days because the way that I shade things is complicated. But I'm really pleased with how the shell turned out. I think this is going to be really nice, honestly. And Cadoodle's art style is so cute. I actually have some of her original art that I bought that's just sitting over here because I haven't gotten it framed yet. But I love this. Look at how cute it is. Cadoodle's art is just freaking adorable. So yeah. Pimp us out a little bit, please, if you could. I would appreciate it. Because I'd really like for this to happen. It's my first Kickstarter. So it would be cool if it would actually work out. Oh, I also saved the line art for mine so that it can also be a coloring sheet. I'm letting Cadoodles decide what she'd like to do with that. Okay. I do think that I want to deepen up a couple of the spots on the moose here. Because even though it being more desaturated is true to the piece, I do think that it separates it out and just makes it look more in shadow right now. So maybe I want to add some color back into the highlights here, just to make that a little bit more obvious. Let's see here. Maybe I need this a little bit. That's still pretty desaturated. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. I'll let that dry again and we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I guess I could start looking to see who is live for raids. That is the thing that I can do. I believe Rainbow is live. But yeah, so it is a non-profit Kickstarter. So any of the profit that we make from that is actually going to Cadoodle's local cat shelter. So even you aren't like paying us directly. We're actually helping out a cat shelter who can use a bunch of help because they saved the kitties, you know? Let's see. Yeah, looking at who I have live, I want to go bother Rainbow. I think that's the right answer. There's plenty of good options today, but I like Rainbow. Oh, good. She's finishing that up. She said that she was going to do that. Let's sign this, shall we? Do I have the right size pen out here? I don't think that I do, actually, thinking about it. So never mind. I won't sign this. I'll sign it off stream. Yeah, we'll go bother Rainbow. We love Rainbow, and Rainbow is also in the coloring book. So very cool. Yeah, I think adding a little bit of orange back in there was the right call. That looks a lot more with it. All right. Yeah, totally valid. Totally valid. And like I said, just sharing it with more people so that we get more eyes on it would be super helpful. Because like I've been posting about it a bunch. I know Cadoodles has been posting about it a bunch. Rainbow's been posting about it a bunch. But there's only a certain amount of people who will see our stuff, you know? So if we can get into other circles where it can spread out, that's going to be super helpful. Do I have anything else to say? No stream on Tuesday. I said that before, but I'll say it again. I have some extra modeling sessions next week. I do have 3 modeling sessions in a row next week. So it's possible I won't be feeling up to a Friday stream either. I will keep y'all informed as best I can. But it might be that my body throws, excuse me, a hissy fit about it, which, you know, fair, actually. Because that's a lot of physical work right back to back. But I loves me some monies, you know? So, I'll keep everybody updated, but definitely no stream on Tuesday next week or the week after that, because again, I have a modeling session on the day where I would be streaming. But I should see you guys on Fridays at least, and maybe if I'm feeling up to it, I'll throw another stream in on a Saturday in the morning, just because that's my other free space time, but I'd need to check with my brother to see if I could actually be out in the living room and it won't bother him. But if that happens, I will announce on social medias except for Twitter because we're done there. So you can come see me other places. But let me switch over to the ending screen because that is what is happening now. And we will go bother Rainbow. I also should take... Yep, Shoddy got me. I was like, I should also take a photo of my art tags because that's a thing that I do. Let me just take this really fast here. God, why does the iPhone camera app suck so much? So much. There we go. That's better. I have a hair stuck to my hand. Oh, that's why that looks weird. Don't do that. There we go. Okay. Yes, very on top of it. It would help if I also started the raid, but first I need to pull up the stream. Because I forgot to do that with Lib the other day. Which Lib understands. This is not a big deal, but, you know. It takes my laptop a little bit to load things in when she's also streaming. So, what am I doing? Why am I typing that in? I literally have a pin right there for Rainbow's stream. Thanks everybody for being here and hanging out with me and being niceies. You know, the usuals. And we'll keep that extra leg our secret, chat. You know. It's fine. Okay, let me actually start the raid now because that's loading, so that's all good. Okay. Like I said, I'll probably see y'all on Friday. I will also see you in various other places on the interwebs because I'm pretty dang consistent about where I show up. Thanks for being here. Remember to be kind to yourself. I don't remember my spiel. My brain is just not going to give it to me. Come on, buddy. Nope, it's not happening. Anyway, remember you're loved because I love you. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. There we go. If you can't remember to do that for yourself, please do it for me because I think you're awesome and deserve nice things. And sometimes our brain cells don't line up, but that's okay. Because we're still worthy of love even when we feel stupid. Okay? That's the vibe for today. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.